addiction is real.
Angel Reese met her downfall and is now facing a lawsuit from the Chicago Sky for using steroids. And she's back at it again, stirring up drama, this time with Taylor Swift.
Angel Reese has her podcast, Unapologetically Angel. And on her podcast, she had a guest, Kayla Nicole, who is the ex-girlfriend of Travis Kelce, who obviously dates Taylor Swift, right? I mean, I think everybody knows that.
But really, Angel? Steroids? It seems like she'll try any dirty move in the book because, apparently, playing basketball the right way just isn't working out for her.
The addiction is real. The addiction to attention is real.
Now Angel Reese has resorted to drugs because apparently playing real basketball in the WNBA is just too hard. By the way, subscribe if you think Angel Reese is overhyped, especially when you're scared of competition. Let's be honest, this is all about her jealousy toward rookie phenom Caitlin Clark. Reese couldn't handle being outshined, so steroids seemed like her bright idea. But this time, she's not getting off easy. From the start, Reese, the self-proclaimed queen of the WNBA, has been wrapped up in one soap opera after another. Now, with this steroid scandal, the Chicago Sky didn't bother with any casual talks. They went straight to the courtroom with a lawsuit. Rumor has it the Sky have officially filed legal papers, accusing Reese of cheating her way to the top.
She got terminated today from the Chicago Sky.
How can someone be so incredibly out of touch? Angel really thought this desperate podcast stunt would keep her in the spotlight, but instead, she's drowning in backlash. And now the Swifties are piling on, making things even worse. Hats off, Angel. You've really outdone yourself. I'm seriously wondering how you're going to clean up this mess. Another tantrum? Or maybe stirring up even more drama?
Reese is ready. She's hunkered down. She's ready to take on whatever comes with Taylor Swift's fans.
This kind of move is completely unheard of in the WNBA. No team has ever been this bold or dramatic. We're talking about a full-blown legal slap in the face, with the Chicago Sky accusing Angel Reese of juicing her way through the season, especially during key matchups. And if you think this is some wild conspiracy theory, think again. The Sky's lawsuit reads like a sports drama miniseries. Reese cheated, and because of it, they missed the playoffs. They're not holding back. They're flat out claiming she used her enhanced abilities to crush their playoff dreams.
You're not coming in and dominating our game.
Here's where things get spicy. Word on the street is that Angel Reese, realizing she couldn't just walk into the WNBA and dominate like she did in college, allegedly decided to take a shortcut: steroids. The timing? A little too convenient. The allegations suggest Reese turned to performance enhancers right around the time she realized pure talent wasn't going to be enough. And who was the constant thorn in her side, outshining her at every turn? None other than Caitlin Clark, the Iowa sensation, putting on a show without a single hint of controversy.
Commissioner of the WNBA has got to take control of this.
While Reese struggled with inconsistency and criticism, Clark was out there breaking records like it was nothing. In 2024, Clark didn't just break the WNBA rookie scoring record, she obliterated it, racking up 761 points in a season with zero drama or scandals, just pure hard work and talent.
I think Angel Reese is jealous of Caitlin Clark.
Every time Clark lit up the scoreboard, Reese's struggles became even more glaring. Social media, they tore Reese apart. Comparisons between her and Clark were everywhere. And let's just say, they weren't flattering for Reese. Everyone knew she was all talk.
She gets a lot of hate online. She gets bullied. Different things are sent to her.
No game, especially when stacked up against Clark's undeniable talent.
She just likes to call out haters and clap back at haters and say different things.
Let's be real. This scandal doesn't just affect Angel Reese. It puts a huge, ugly stain on the WNBA as a whole.
Where Angel Reese can do a podcast that gets this much attention, that then brings the attention to Caitlin Clark, who already had the most attention from the fan base of the person outside of sports who gets the most attention.
But let's not stop there. Fast forward to now, where Angel Reese is getting absolutely annihilated, not just by sports fans, but by the Swifties. You know you've hit rock bottom when Taylor Swift's fan base makes you their next target. So, what was the brilliant move that triggered them? Angel hops on a podcast with Kayla Nicole, Travis Kelce's ex-Says of all people, and somehow thinks this is a smart way to stay relevant. Guess she forgot that Swifties are like an army that never sleeps. You mess with Taylor or anyone even remotely connected to her, and you're in for a world of hurt. But Angel? She thought she could casually trash talk Caitlin Clark and not face the consequences. Wrong move, Reese. Very wrong move.
And, Angel can handle herself in that space, I guess, a little bit. And she posts this, Hayton Pays Too, about it. And she's ready for the onslaught. She's painting her nails to get ready to rock and roll with the Swifties. Angel ain't afraid of the Swifties. Respect to Angel for that.
You thought you were just playing ball with Caitlin Clark? Nah, girl. Now you're up against millions of Swifties. And they don't just slide into your mentions, they obliterate you. They're out there reminding Angel every second that not only is Caitlin Clark a superior player, but she's also got the full support of their queen, Taylor Swift. How's that for a humbling moment? Angel might have felt pretty smug after her championship ring taunt, but now she's getting metaphorically dunked on, over and over again. That's got to sting worse than any loss.
Without it being spun into something crazy, Angel Reese has her on the podcast. She talks about Travis Kelce, and the Swifties are unleashed. And they first start going for Angel.
What's even more hilarious is how Reese thought teaming up with Kayla Nicole would boost her clout. Seriously? Partnering with Travis Kelce's ex while he's literally dating Taylor Swift? Did you even think that through, Angel? That's like walking straight into the fire and asking to get roasted. It's almost as if she was begging for the backlash.
So there's respect. We've seen each other in public spaces, but I think that we're both aware of the nature of his new situation, that there's just no room really for us to communicate or acknowledge each other publicly without it being spun into something.
The Swifties don't play nice, and now they're on a mission to defend Caitlin Clark and Taylor Swift like it's their full-time job. Angel, you're not just playing basketball anymore. You've officially become the villain in a pop culture saga you never saw coming. That podcast episode, it didn't boost your relevance, it just showcased your desperation to stay in the spotlight. And trust me, if you thought stirring up drama with Caitlin Clark was bold, you've now poked the wrong beehive. The Swifties? They're not just a fan base, they're a force of nature. You might as well have handed them a microphone and asked them to roast you live.
You got this one that says, more Swifties are joining Caitlin FC by the second. Oh, it's so over for the league. That from 444 Hater. I hope they're not talking about the Jay-Z album, because I love that album.
Kayla Nicole's whole sob story about her past with Travis Kelce and how complicated things are now that he's dating Taylor Swift. It felt like a bad episode of some third-rate reality show, the kind you only watch when you're too tired to change the channel. And you, Angel, thought bringing that mess onto your platform was going to elevate you? All it did was open the door for the Swifties to swoop in and drag you from here to oblivion.
What the hell are you doing?
But why did she have to resort to this? The WNBA isn't college ball. The competition is tougher, and the athletes are seasoned pros. Reese quickly found out it's a whole different beast. Her rookie season wasn't bad by normal standards, but Reese, she wasn't aiming for normal. She had flashes, where she looked like the unstoppable powerhouse everyone expected. But then, boom, she'd follow it up with a dud. In her first 10 games of the 2024 season, she scored under 10 points 5 times. That's not the kind of stat line that shuts down critics. And when the expectations are sky high and you don't meet them, people start talking, and not in a good way. Cue the steroid rumors.
The product on the court sucks. I mean, it sucks.
As if things couldn't get messier, the drama hit a new level when Reese faked a wrist injury mid-season to mask her underwhelming performances. She missed games, claiming the injury, only to return faster and stronger than before. Fans weren't buying it. They quickly questioned whether she was really hurt, or if this was just a convenient cover story while she dealt with the steroid situation. The whispers turned into full-blown speculation, and Reese couldn't escape it, especially when she came back looking like she'd been turbocharged. The sudden turnaround only fueled the rumors.
It is about to get really embarrassing for the WNBA, and I am here for it.
Meanwhile, while all this was unfolding, Caitlin Clark just kept shining. Her 41-point game against the Phoenix Mercury on July 16, 2024, was a performance that had everyone talking about Clark, not Reese. Clark's name became synonymous with breaking records, while Reese's became tied to rumors and drama. Every time Reese tried to claw her way back into the spotlight, her insecurity seemed to show more than her talent. Things took a wild turn when Reese, in a post-game interview, went on a rant about how Clark was getting all the praise because she was white.
Pat McAfee yesterday called Caitlin a white bitch.
Right.
That kind of comment might have played into the rivalry hype during their NCAA days, but in the WNBA, it backfired. Big time. Fans and analysts quickly pointed out that Reese wasn't coming from a place of legitimate criticism. It sounded more like pure jealousy. Every time she spoke, she only seemed to dig herself deeper into a hole.
If you're one of the dozens of fans in the WNBA, it is only going to get worse from here.
Then there's the steroid elephant in the room. The whispers suggest that Reese's alleged steroid use was her desperate last-ditch effort to keep up with Clark. While Clark's natural talent and hard work were making her a star, Reese was starting to look like she couldn't cut it. Instead of putting in the work, the rumor mill claims Reese decided to cheat. Rather than rise to the challenge, she took the easy way out, hoping no one would notice. Spoiler alert, people noticed. And instead of making her look stronger, the allegations only made Reese look weaker.
Angel Reese was talking crap about her. She's like, it's not just her. What about me? The most selfish interview.
Angel Reese has always carried herself with that I own the room energy. No apologies, no second guessing, and definitely no holding back. She's the WNBA's reigning queen of trash talk and has never met a critic she couldn't clap back at. From the moment she stepped onto the court at LSU, she wasn't just there to play basketball. She was there to make noise, not just with her game. Whether she was taunting Caitlin Clark during the championship or throwing shade at her own teammates, Reese loved stirring the pot.
Because she knows that the NBA will always be there to bail her out.
If there was drama, you could bet Angel Reese was right in the middle of it, basking in the glow of all the attention. But oh, how the tables have turned. Now, with steroid allegations swirling around like vultures over her career, all that swagger is looking a little shaky. The same confidence that once made her a media darling is starting to feel like an act. Sure, she used to thrive on drama, but now that bravado is making her look more desperate than dominant. It's all fun and games when you're on top, but when the steroid rumors start creeping in, suddenly that trash talk feels a lot less like confidence and a lot more like overcompensation.
Swifties becoming Caitlin Clark stans is such a W. Not for old school WNBA, it ain't.
Let's be real, this whole move reeks of insecurity. You've been salty ever since that finger-pointing stunt during the NCAA championship, flaunting your ring like it was the crown jewels. Well, guess what, Angel? That ring doesn't shield you from the internet's wrath. Taylor's fans saw right through this, just a pathetic attempt to pull Caitlin Clark down to your level. And girl, they did not hesitate. They came for you in full force, and they don't do things halfway. They shredded you on social media, dragging your name through the mud while lifting Caitlin up as the basketball queen she truly is.
Taylor Swift can do anything. You know, she endorses the Vice President Harris, and then it's on the news immediately, right? Like every news outlet. She's got that gravitas, she's just that popular. And
you've gone from taunting on the court to getting absolutely torched online. Congratulations, you're now that person. The one who tried to take down not just an athlete, but an entire army of Swifties. And let's talk about Caitlin for a second. She's not even trying. Just out there being amazing, letting her skills do the talking. Meanwhile, you're stirring up weak gossip on a podcast. Pathetic. It's almost sad watching you flail like this, desperate to stay relevant while Caitlin's effortlessly riding the wave of support from both Swifties and sports fans alike.
And Caitlin Clark is the same way. In fact, Colin Cowherd has referred to Caitlin Clark as Taylor Swift in tennis shoes. So if you do have a bunch of Swifties who all of a sudden became Caitlin Clark fans, that's a problem for any other fan base in any fan debate. I don't know if they're actually sticking around or they're just making a show of it online.
And then there's Caitlin's tweet from last year, the one where she welcomed Taylor Swift to the Chiefs fan base. That tweet has now become a symbol of why Caitlin is winning in more ways than one. The Swifties dug it up like it was a golden artifact and made it their battle cry, uniting behind Caitlin like she's one of their own. Meanwhile, you're left standing there looking ridiculous, trying to capitalize on some reality TV-level drama that nobody cares about. Caitlin Clark is just sitting back, watching this whole thing unfold, barely lifting a finger. She has an entire army doing the work for her, while you're trying to stay relevant with trash talk and bad podcast decisions. Meanwhile, Caitlin's out here getting love from Taylor Swift, the most famous pop star on the planet backing her. That's got to feel like adding insult to injury. You probably didn't see that one coming when you were busy trying to humble Caitlin with your taunts. Well, the tables have definitely turned now, haven't they?
Meanwhile, there's the Angel end of it, and she's caught some blowback for the podcast itself. It's just a podcast. She's just 22 years old. I really didn't get myself the point of the booking, but maybe there was an audience for it. Obviously, it got to the Taylor Swift fan base, so I'm sure the views.
And your social media presence? It's absolutely tanking, while Caitlin's is soaring. Her follower count is blowing up faster than your ego did after that championship game, and it's all thanks to the Swifties. They've made it crystal clear that Caitlin Clark is their girl, while you're just the side character in a story that's no longer about you. In the grand scheme of things, this whole debacle shows exactly where you stand. On the outside, desperately knocking on the door, while Caitlin is inside, shining in all her glory. You can keep trying to stir up drama and throw shade, but at this point, it's laughable. Caitlin is thriving with the support of Taylor's fan base, and you're just another footnote in a rivalry that's completely one-sided now.
Well, you are about to get exactly what you wanted.
Throughout her career, Reese has always been vocal about issues bigger than basketball. She's been loud and proud in calling out racial and gender inequalities in sports, and she didn't hesitate to make claims that black athletes like herself were treated differently, while players like Caitlin Clark received a free pass from the media because they're white. That's been Reese's narrative all along, trying to play the victim card to grab attention. Now it seems that's likely going to be her entire defense moving forward.
Someone, please, make it make sense.
So, here's what we can expect from Reese. She's going to argue that this lawsuit isn't about steroids, it's about her. She'll claim she's being targeted because she doesn't fit the neat image the WNBA wants for its stars. Too loud, too bold, and too unwilling to conform to the expected behavior. Reese will likely assert that this lawsuit is just another attempt to silence her and push her out of the spotlight because she poses a threat to the status quo. It's a bold move. But if there's one thing Reese has never shied away from, it's being bold.
We've had enough of Caitlin Clark fans fighting with Angel Reese fans and debates of Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. I'm just talking about the good fun of it.
So, Angel, maybe next time you should think twice before trying to pull off some weak publicity stunt. You're not just playing basketball anymore. You're in a full-on cultural war. And trust me, you're losing badly. While Caitlin Clark is out here gaining more love, fame, and followers. By the second, you're stuck fumbling in the spotlight you so desperately crave. Good luck with that.
That side of WNBA, Twitter, and social media, and media, who doesn't like Caitlin Clark being talked about so much, is going to absolutely hate the idea of the Swifties also coming into the discourse and saying whatever it is.
Honestly, this whole saga is just a long lesson in karma for Angel Reese. She could have taken her championship win with a shred of grace, but no, she chose pettiness, and now she's getting dragged for it. The Swifties are basically putting her in her place, reminding everyone that in the grand scheme of things, being a classless sore winner doesn't pay off. Caitlin Clark is out here winning over not just basketball fans, but one of the most dedicated fan bases in the world. Reese can't compete with that. No amount of podcast appearances or trash talk is going to save her from the social media tidal wave she's facing. So, Angel, maybe next time you'll think twice before trying to one-up someone like Caitlin Clark. Because now, you're not just dealing with a superior athlete, you're facing a cultural icon in the making, backed by the Swifties. And let me tell you, once they're on your case, it's game over.
The truth is finally coming to the light.
However, at the center of all this is the actual steroid scandal. As much as Reese might want to frame this as a broader conversation about her identity as a high-profile black athlete, the reality is she's facing serious accusations that could jeopardize her career. No matter how much she talks about being a target or frames this as a race issue, the question of whether she cheated to stay on top isn't going away. While Reese may try to spin the narrative, the real test will be whether she can substantiate her claims, or if the evidence will reveal that the queen of trash talk was merely hiding behind a wall of steroids.